Good show.
Big up, Jarvis. Big up. Listen, therapy army. We definitely need that therapy. Welcome. Welcome, people. Welcome. We're back to Jackie Nori CBBC settings tonight. We're back to that. Yet another manager that's been absolutely destroyed by this football club. Yet another manager now speaking similar to what Jose used to tell you, at times Van Gaal used to say, and at times what Ollie used to tell you, and that's what he's doing tonight, Ten Hag. Absolutely coming out with waffles, absolutely coming out with laughable statements. At the end of the day, modern football, guys, is 100 plus minutes now, especially this season in the Premier League. It's 100 plus minutes. Manchester United turned up for 35 minutes today, and that is unacceptable. Nobody should be telling you you need to accept that. We are not accepting that. We refuse to accept that. But maybe it's a reality check for all of us. Back to life, back to reality. This is what it is. But you know what? Don't worry, because Neil Ashton has got it all sorted for you. Watch out in the next 48 hours, 40 to 72 hours, all the positive news, all of that. Spin FC. He's going to have you playing. He's got you on the strings like the violin. And we're going to hear it, people. We're going to hear who are Man United linked with, all these positivity, all of these amazing things that are happening at Manchester United. And I bet you for the next 2 days, if the England women's team win the World Cup tomorrow, all you're going to see on the post of Manchester United is the World Cup heroes. I'm going to predict it here and now. That's what you're going to have on the Manchester United socials. That's what's going to be try to carry them on till we get to Nottingham Forest next week. If England win the World Cup tomorrow, Manchester United players are going to be bombarded all over. Neil Ashton is already talking about it right now. They're already doing the graphics for those videos. But I promise you, something is going on. I'm here to ask Jarvis. Erik ten Hag, since the season's begun, the interviews that he gave before the season started, the contradiction is like what it was with all the managers who got sacked. Saeed is also joining us. We've got other people to join us tonight, people. We're going to break it down. You are at the best place. You are at the best channel for breaking things down. But I'm telling you, Erik ten Hag, you're only going to go one way. On the last season, Jarvis, if the performances were not up to it, he would come out and say they're unacceptable. This season, he's protecting, defending players. What's going on? There are things behind the scenes that we don't know about, but there is something going on. His body language, his demeanor, the fight is not in him. The man looks like he's aged just after 2 games. Or after that season, the manager looks like he's aged. Take it away, Jarvis. Big up to everybody. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe.
Smash a like, people, man.
Yeah, I don't know even where to start. When it comes to this summer window, it's been a shambles. It started good. We were getting our targets. The targets was okay. Everything was going okay in a way. But suddenly, everything stopped. We started hearing rumors about FFP. We can't sign any players. We need to sell players. We only have 110 million amount of money. I'm sure Ten Hag is tired. He's been fighting against the Glazers all summer long. And we went on this circus tour to the US and all around the world, 26 time zones back and forward, 50 hours on airplanes, 50 hours on airports, not enough sleep. How can you eat healthy on an airplane? How can you sleep? You could see it in the first game. The writing was on the wall after the Wolves game. This wasn't good enough. And now we see the result. Everything is starting to fall apart. And today, it was the first time we saw Ten Hag like shaking. He's been good. He's been steady manager. He's been steering the ship. But today we saw it. It's taking a toll. And now the fan base are breathing down his neck, and the players aren't performing. Where to start. So what do you think, Nurdin?
Jarvis, please explain to me how many minutes do you think Manchester United played as a team in that game that you watched tonight?
Well, it was okay. I would say I would give it at least 25 to 30 minutes was okay out of the whole game. and
Yes.
it's not enough. We saw patches in the game in the beginning. Mason Mount was doing bits. He was helping out. He was I would say he was disciplined enough to stay around Casemiro's area, so we had balance in the team. But what happened? I think Spurs went up a little, a couple of notches, and another problem that I had with the game, we didn't have any breathers when we were playing the ball up because Rashford was constantly losing it. He's not playing as a number 9. He's not in his DNA. He don't have the hold up play. So every time he got the ball, he tried to turn and try to dribble his defender or defenders and losing the ball. So we get the ball right in our face back again, because Spurs, they had a plan. They were trying to transition our transitions. That's what they were trying to. And yeah, big up for Spurs for doing that. And we still struggle with the same thing. We won the XP. We had the more expecting goals. We had 2 point something, and they had 1.50. So in a way, we should have won the game if we had played the game 100 times. Yeah, because of statistics. But we know we struggle with clinicality. And we have seen it in all the friendlies. It's the same always. We didn't score. We didn't take our chances. And why? We have played with Sancho in the 9 almost every friendly, and suddenly we play with Rashford. What's going on? Why don't we drill the same team as we are going to play? I don't understand anything. I think Ten Hag is starting to lose his grip.
I'll just stay with you one more second. We got bopped around for about 45 minutes out of the 100 minutes that we played. How can Spurs, a team that just got a new manager, new players like Maddison, Bob and Basuma, who's been nowhere to be found last season, the season before, not kicked the ball in last season. I don't see him for many games last season. How can those players come bob Manchester United off the park?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think Spurs are that good of a team. Did you see Brighton? When they played against Wolves, and we played against Wolves,
I'm talking about the game tonight.
You've seen that.
They cast us off the park. They kept it. They hemmed us back in. We couldn't get out. We couldn't even go anywhere near them. We couldn't touch the ball.
Yeah. And Casemiro looked like he was 60 years old, and Mason Mount looked like primetime Pirlo. And Mason Mount, he got relegated last season, and now he's playing like primetime Pirlo. It doesn't make sense. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't think Spurs are that good. We are really bad at the moment. I don't know if it's the preseason or what's going on, but we need players, and we need to fix this circus, because the fish rot from the top, as you always say, Nuruddin, and this is what's going on at the moment. The Glazers are slowly strangling us, and they have been doing this for 18 years, and now we're starting to see the total collapse of the club.
Saeed, you watched that game. You did a watch along, so you're watching it intently. You're watching what you've seen. You're on the Big Six tomorrow on Monday. I'm Tuesday. Sorry, but you're gonna get cooked. You're gonna get cooked on Thursday because I'm not gonna lie to Saeed.
You know what it is though? You know what's bad?
Anthony's looking like worse a player than last season. Yeah. And last season, we were all part of his defense league last season. We're all like, give him time. We were all like literally like praising him for crumbs, for the minimum, like saying, oh, he gets back and he hustles and he holds onto the ball. Now, it's just like, what's going on, Saeed?
You know what's mad? Yeah, I wasn't even that hyped up about the game on the Big Six. Those that you were there, I said the only person I was defending was Lisandro Martinez, and that was against Romero. So I said Lisandro Martinez is a better defender than Romero. And even though Romero could have conceded a handball, because it was a handball anyway, and we could have had a result. But when you deep it, Lisandro Martinez puts the goal into the back of the net, I think, for the second goal or the first goal. I don't know which one. It's like, literally, I'm lost for words now. But he didn't have a particularly great game. But to be honest with you, Nuruddin, man,
he's not fit, to be fair. He's been out for 3 months almost. 3 months, 4 months he's been out. He's not fully fit. And he needs games to get fit. The guy broke a bone in his body. But Saeed, if anybody is Tottenham fans are telling you that Romero's better than Martinez, tell them to lay off the crap pipe. Lay
Yeah,
off
no,
the crack pipe.
that's why for me he's gonna say what he's gonna say on Tuesday. And listen, I'm gonna let him have it. I'm gonna let it slide because he's won the game, and I'm not gonna concentrate on individuals. I'm gonna concentrate on the whole general performance. Nuruddin, we can't score and we can't defend. That's the you know what it is as well. Yeah, Wolves should have had 3 goals at Old Trafford. Onana saved 3-4 attempts. Cunha is not a striker. They realised today. You see when Brighton played today, they finished their dinner. And Wolves had chances in that game and they couldn't finish their dinner. But what happens there is you have a team who's dominant, who's assertive like Brighton. They finish their chances. Manchester United today, yeah, they had 2 glaring opportunities. They couldn't get it done. And what happens at the other end? You can't defend and you can't keep control of midfield. And you play this hot potato football that keeps throwing on about that isn't good enough anymore. And you keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Rinse and repeat. You're doing the same thing 1,000 times, expecting different results. It's not going to work, lads. I'm sorry, it's not going to work. So ultimately, guys, I'm just kind of, for me, I don't think sacking a manager is a solution. I don't think, you know what I mean, anything on that level is a solution. I really don't, because I feel like for me, what next then? A new manager comes in, they get bluffed by the same individuals that are in the football club. That's what's going to happen. They come in, a new manager, and they see this group of players, and they're like, oh, these are not too bad. Why you can't get the best out of these players? I just look down and I think, you know what, mentality, cojones, wanting it more, and overall, the biggest one is quality. And last week, yeah, I had a chat with one of my friends here. He was saying about Bruno Fernandes and his this and his that. And I'm like, away from home yet again, where does he step up? Where does he step up? And this is why I'm looking at Bruno Fernandes is he's one of our main guys. He's meant to be that person that is the difference between winning and losing. You got De Bruyne, you got these guys in the world that are difference makers. But yet Bruno Fernandes doesn't step up in the big games. He has a header, a cross that comes in. All he has to do is just literally, he doesn't even have to put power into it. All he has to do is adjust his body and just get the timing right. Awfully wrong. Squandering
He
at the
could have
last
took
chance.
it down. He had time to take it down and put it in his foot. He had time.
But again,
The
it
ball
just comes
wasn't
down
that
to
high.
quality.
He had time to just lean back a little bit, chest it, and then volley it into the back of the net. Listen, Jarvis, talk to me about Luke Shaw and the shitbag that he is and the coward that he is.
I don't know. He looks so slow at the moment. He look uninterested. You know, I don't know if he can't find his role. You know, Ten Hag is starting with this inverted thing. And you know, Mourinho said it. Luke Shaw is a great footballer, but I have to be the brain. He said it. It was a nasty comment, but in a way, it's hard for Luke Shaw when I think you have tactical dispositions that he's not used to. It takes time for him to learn. So that might be.
Travis, I'm not going to let you get away with that. He's a shitbag when it comes to. Tell me, any Manchester United fans, I beg you to tell me the last time Luke Shaw put a winger on lockdown. Tell me, please, give me one game last season.
He's got Saka next. Saka, he's got him next away game. So listen, good
so
luck to that one. You don't like
the last time that he faced up to a winger, faced up one-on-one and put him on lockdown. He's actually, for me, a better left-sided centre-half than he ever is as a left-back.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I also think that he's not that good going forward. You know, he's good drifting the ball up to halfway line, but then it stops, and he knows the overlap. That's Luke Shaw, but you know, he never takes on his man. He's not a dribbler. He can't find magical solutions. So when you see other fullbacks in other teams, how they do it, you know, we can see Real Madrid sometimes they have like fantastic fullbacks, and we had. You know, I'm that old. When I was growing up, we had Roberto Carlos and Cafu and stuff like that. You know, we're no way near that level. So yeah, but I'm not going to sit here and
Jarvis. They call him Shamblesfc. He has one or two games, and Manchester United fans start twerking for these players and calling him Shamblesfc.
Yeah, but what I don't like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and slag Luke Shaw per se, because it's not just Luke Shaw. It's the experience.
It's Marcus Rashford. It's
players.
Bruno. It's fucking. It's Bruno. It's
Bruno, Rashford. It's Casemiro. It's Luke Shaw, the experienced players. And you know, Roy Keane said it. Leopards don't change their spots, so that's the problem. They when the tough gets going, they hide. That's the thing. And we don't have, you know, last season, Casemiro in the last couple of games, he dragged us over the line for the top 4. But the mentality of some of our players is horrendous. and Luke
Mumbai,
Shaw is
are you
one
there?
of them.
Mumbai, are you there?
Every time we're a goal behind when we play away against the top 6 or the top 10 teams, they hide.
Mumbai has gone to Paul Gascoigne in Lazio settings. He's thinking about when football used to be good, when he used to watch
No.
his football back in the day.
Oli Bombay, chat to us.
Yes, boys. Good evening. Yeah, I had
Good
to
evening.
make myself feel a bit better with one of my favorite players of all time, Paul Gascoigne. If I had to sing you a song to sum this up, I'm thinking Bon Jovi, "Living on a Prayer" at this point.
That's the
Not
soundtrack to Manchester United season already.
telling you, man.
We're
Whoa,
living
whoa,
on a
whoa,
prayer.
whoa, whoa.
Whoa. We're hard. We're not
Living on a
yeah.
prayer. I mean, this.
Listen, you're Mr. Positive. You're Mr. Positive. You love Luke Shaw. Explain to me why Luke Shaw, Anthony, Bruno, Rashford, these players that you like
Well,
actually. Mbaye.
look,
How come they're all shitbags? How come Rashford is like a kid
I
sulking playing up
mean,
front?
what I'd say about today, guys. I've got it out of my system. I'm glad you did this podcast at 11:05. I've had time to get it out of my system, laugh at myself, diss the team, diss the manager, put some memes on the chat with the boys, and now I'm ready to give you some analysis. First half, good control, decent, not amazing, but we were
35
the better
minutes.
side.
For 35 minutes, Mbaye.
Um,
You need to
and
keep it on
they
for
came,
35 minutes.
yeah, 35 minutes,
35
and
minutes or 30 minutes in the first half.
yeah. So we had, good control. We're away at Tottenham. Um, and then they really started to come into things. They hit the woodwork twice. I thought Onana had to work quite a bit today. He was my positive today. I like him. I like some of the passing out. He did what I expect him to do. I thought he was good. Um, on the whole, I'm not really going to look at any players per se. I thought everybody was pretty dreadful right across the board. What I'm looking at here is I watched Ten Hag's interview after the game. And he's talking about we have to score the first goal. It changes games. Yeah, it does. That's true. We are a different proposition when that happens. But I'm looking for signs of progression from quite a boring style of football last season, which I accepted on the basis of just get over the line into this Champions League. I'm not sure if another player or another two players is going to revolutionize what I've seen over the last two games. I just feel that whether it's the mentality of the team, whether it's the fact that they start to crumble and then they can't find their way back into a game and we just start going long all the time. This all comes back to Eric Ten Hag at a certain point. And the reason I say that is we have spent 400 million, which is respectable if you compare it to our counterparts. We have got some very good players in that team that are very comparable to everyone else hunting a top four place. And we've played Wolves and we've played Tottenham, we are better than on paper, and we should be dispatching Wolves at home pretty comfortably, and we should be doing a lot better than what we did today. So I've got to ask myself, we're getting worse than last year, So I'm asking myself, Eric Ten Hag, okay, I understand the first goal, but we didn't create a lot of chances. We can't just be talking about we had three opportunities and we didn't take one. And that, no, I'm looking at the overall gameplay over 90 minutes was very bad, was really, really bad, way below par, way below the expectations, way below the players that we've got, man. We've got a good side there. So,
Mbaye, let me just get the super chats. Big up to you.
sure.
To me,
Yeah.
Eric Ten Hag saying, right? Eric Ten Hag saying we should score first. It's like Ollie saying fine margins. That's what I can hear.
I don't want to play fine margins. I want to. All I want to do today, if we're going to lose 3-4-0, I don't mind, yeah. But I want to be at least entertained. I had to wait to the City Newcastle game that I actually enjoyed watching. Watching Man United these last 2 weeks has been horrible. It's been just
Listen,
so
I didn't even
boring.
watch that game because I was too depressed. I was too depressed. I didn't watch that game. Let me just get the super chats, Mumbai.
Sure.
I'll come back to you.
Of course.
Big up John A. He says from Sweden. Big up to the Swedish massive. He says advice from Manchester United: please don't allow this joke of a club to spoil your days. Enjoy other things in life. Stay happy. No to depression. Big up to you, bro. Mateus says, big up Nora Java Saeed. Ten Hag will be gone by Christmas. We will be floating around 8th in the league and out of the Champions League. Wow. That's a prediction and a half. Everyone that comes to United gets worse. From managers to players, Unana's more comfortable on the ball than all the first team players. Stay happy, guys. 100%. He's the only person that comes out with anything, actually.
I mean,
you know, by the way, give me a stat, by the way. Mason Mount made 14 passes in 75 minutes. You know, and this is a midfielder for me, guys. It's not a striker. It's not a winger. It's not someone who's, you know, this is a midfielder that's playing in an 8 role. That for me is this. It's not good enough, man. To have 14 passes in a game, guys. What was the use in Mount? And that's what I'm saying. When people are saying, yeah, and people are cherishing and celebrating the bare minimum, guys. This is where we've gone wrong. Like as fans, you can't celebrate the bare minimum. I've seen people online making comps here of Mount when he lost the ball, running back to go and get it. Listen, we can appreciate it as fans, but let's not try and paint it out that that's the all envy for a player. It shouldn't be. Shouldn't be the bare minimum. But this is what I'm trying to say. Like,
we rate players. Listen, Saeed, and this football club, Manchester United, we used to rate players what they did on the football. Now we rate players on what they do, little bit of things that they do, like you said, which is the minimum. What's the minimum expectations? But Saeed, I'm sorry to break it to you. We're not at that football club anymore. We're not that football club where that was the minimum. We're not that football club anymore. We're not.
I think the problem here, guys, is when it starts going wrong like this. Now, remember last season we had a shocking start and then we pulled it back. So there's still a bit of hope there. Maybe it's another bad start. It's not one that we expected at all. Last year, you let it slide because it's the first year. But this year, you're expecting a hell of a lot better, especially with pre-season. You know, a few better players in, whatever, a year on. But the problem that we're going to have, I think, if we get another 3 or 4 of these results and this type of performance, you're going to go back into the olden days, like this guy said, Insanity doing the same thing, where is it the manager? Is it the players? Is it the Glazers? So what I'm saying, yeah, this is one thing that we can't get away from. Eric Ten Hag has been backed, and these are the players he wanted. He wanted to Anthony as that bad that the club said to him, listen, if you want us to pay 85 million, we'll pay it, but this is going to affect next season's budget a little bit. He was confident in Anthony, so he's got to, you know what I mean, live by that. And the problem with having Anthony at 85 million flopping, you know, it's going to be hard to bench him, but you should be giving Pellistri a little bit of a go. Amad Diallo deserves a go because Anthony's not quite doing it. So for me at the moment, I'm looking at Eric Ten Hag because everything that I'm assessing on the pitch, unfortunately, you can't sack 24 players. And we've seen it with the previous managers. We have to look at him and say, look, if they're not responding to your mentality's weak, you have to get it right. If they're not going to be able to execute your plans, you're buying the players. You wanted Casemiro, you wanted Mason Mount. I know I wanted Mason Mount, but I have to say, a lot of the fan base didn't want Mason Mount, had their reservations, and some people still think he's going to flop. But Eric Ten Hag, we're backing him on that basis, whether we want Mount or not. So now he has to, you know what I mean, live by those decisions, and he's got to improve this team. This team is not as bad as what we've seen in the last 2 weeks. If this was the team that Van Gaal inherited and it was all, you know, on the decline, all right, fine, but we're not that team, guys. There's a lot of good players there. You're looking at Newcastle, you're looking at Brighton, you're looking at Wolves, you're looking at a lot of teams that are playing very good football. Angie's come into Tottenham without Harry Kane, guys. They're not a great team on paper. Look at them.
But you know what, Bombay?
But today they played really well.
Bombay, they bopped us around that football pitch. They
did.
And
this is the kind of question.
They bopped us around that football
pitch. They did, bro. They did. And this is the question that you want to ask yourself. Why is it that Gary O'Neill can come into Wolves and, you know, pull that out the bag? Why is it that people are walking into 1 week, bro? And it's like I'm not quite understanding what the hell is going on at Man United. I wish I knew. And I thought I had some clarity,
I'm not gonna lie
but
to you.
when it starts to go west like this, Dino, I start to, bro. I just want to say, when it goes west like this, honestly, I feel like I've gone back into a pitch black room. I'm thinking, shit, where's the door? That's where's the door? That's how I feel, and that's the frustration.
No way out. You
No,
caged.
No way
No
out.
way out.
You're trapped.
Guys,
You're trapped.
we've been here before, haven't we? Where the fan base is saying it's this player, or it's the manager's tactics, or it's the Glazers. We're going to head straight back down that road in about 3-4 weeks if this continues. We're going to have people saying it's the Glazers, it's the manager, it's the players. They're not. That's where I don't want to be.
It's all of it. The reason why I singled out Luke Shaw, not because I genuinely have a Luke Shaw hatred, is because everybody keeps telling me Shawberto, one of the best left backs in the world. And I'm like, a left back that can't defend one-on-one with a winger, it's no use to me. Get the hell out of my football club. And this guy, I've seen it before. Throughout the years, I've been fighting with fans inside the stadium and outside the stadium, telling them I hate coward footballers. Call Malacia whatever you want. Malacia is not a shitbag. He's not going to run back and hide.
He's not.
He's not. Big up Irfan. Irfan, you were on a preview last night. You were saying you don't see it. Look like you've been vindicated, bro.
I was right. I was spot on. All you people, most of you lot, predicted a Man United win. And I said, you guys don't get it. When you lose as badly as that against Wolves at home and you get away with it and get 3 points and you don't see the red triangle, you're deluded fans. You're deluded. And I'm telling you, right, I called it out yesterday because he should have really knocked heads. And again, you know, you guys are talking like the tide has changed because before we were hiding behind other shit, like it wasn't Ten Hag. It was nothing. It was all other stuff outside it. But this was on Ten Hag 100%. It was on Ten Hag, right? I said to you, you said to me, Nuruddin, what would you change yesterday? I said, you have to play 2 in the pivot against that away. We're a shit team away. We're weak away. So you play 2 in the pivot. You put McTominay next to Casemiro, and then you see where you are at half-time. This is basics. We got battered in midfield again.
Listen, Irfan, let's tell the story of the game. First half an hour, we controlled that game. Spurs came out for 5 minutes. For half an hour, we took over the game. We made chances, clear-cut chances. We didn't take them. Then the second half started. We went into a huddle. Saeed will tell you.
I call them 75% chances. I don't call them clear-cut. I call them 75%.
No. We got into good positions. Listen, there's 600 of you here watching. Smash a like on the video.
Get the likes done, man. Get the likes done. Come on, man. We need 300 likes.
Right?
300 likes we need.
Right, at least, people. And subscribe to the channel because you're not going to get anybody who's going to tell you the truth. We've been saying this all season. I'm going to tell you now, Irfan and Bombay, because Saeed and maybe Jarvis have seen it.
I'm finished yet, Nuruddin, but I'll let you back in. I'm finished yet. Go on.
No. I'm talking about what the body language of Erik ten Hag before the season started, in the pre-season. He is no way as he was last season. The man looks tired. He's only been there for a season and he looks shattered.
Wait, Nuruddin. You missed out the key word. Mentally shattered, he looks.
Yeah.
You missed out a key word there.
No, he looks shattered. Listen, mentally or physically, the manager looks shattered and he's contradicting himself right, left, and center, just like Ollie. What are we talking about him when he's talking about the first goal? That's Ollie saying fine margins. That's the Ollie version of fine margins. Big up Alien Tenno. He says Erik ten Hag leaving out Williams van der Beek. They'll play some. Listen, this is not breaking news. Those 2 players want to go. They want to get the F out of here. So when people were like saying to me, breaking news, Erik ten Hag said that players are leaving. Go ahead, Saeed.
You know why as well? Just to cut you off there. Van der Beek must be thinking, I'm better than these lot in midfield. He's like, hold on a minute. We can't keep the ball.
He can pass and move and find the space and make space.
Yeah. And shame on Ten Hag, because at the end of the day, this is a guy that brought him up in the Ajax team and taught him about possession base. And you know what? He was the one that made Donny van der Beek the player he was. So for him to turn his nose down on Donny and say, listen, he ain't that guy anymore, and he will ever be. Listen, by all means, he could be not that guy anymore. But to say that he's not better than what they've got in midfield, I just think it's crazy, man. And that's why he's saying, you know what? I'm going to find a new club. So fair play to him on that part. But yeah, go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off there.
Go ahead. Listen, Irfan.
Go
ahead.
Let's just go back to the game a second.
Audio. Irfan, go ahead. But I'm going to play some audio. Erik ten Hag gave to MUTV before the eve of the new season started. Go ahead, Irfan. Carry on.
So look, no, I was just going to say, look, right?
Oh shit, boys.
I mean, look. We discussed yesterday the Mount issue, right? We discussed it again, right? We said this is not looking good, right? And you said you wanted to give him a bit of time. You wanted to see how he was going to sit in the team, how it was going to work. Again, it looks like it's a big failure at the moment already after 2 games. There's not even a hint or something to say, yeah, I'm going to see what Mount's going to do, because he's imbalanced the midfield badly. It doesn't work with those two there, with Mount and Fernandes. Fernandes had a shocker today. Absolutely shocking game from him. I couldn't believe it. I would have taken him off. If I was manager, I would have taken him off. I don't care if the captain, I would have taken him off. Right. The thing is, these balls over the top, what is the style of play? What do you see in Man United that's
just long ball, fan all day, or just long ball? I got tired of it, man. It's boring.
Yeah, but
Mourinho.
Bombay, it's not even good long ball. It's shit long ball that doesn't go anywhere.
Onana, fan. Fair play to Onana. That one pass he played for Ghana.
Yeah, that was the best pass of the game for us. That was the best pass of the game. It was.
One pass.
He should be in midfield. Like Onana should be in midfield, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, midfield. So Onana should play. Guys, there's 700 of you. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed.
So it also seems like getting rid of Fred is a mistake so far. That's what it seemed like already. It seemed like a big mistake. Can you believe that shit? Honestly, it seems like it's a huge mistake. Now look. You know, I just don't, I don't want to get too deep into it.
Me and Saeed came out of the stadium on Monday. Saeed was doing his match reaction outside Old Trafford. And we jumped on each other. And people around me watching the game were like, we miss Fred's energy.
Yeah. Of course. Listen, if you're going to get rid of him, you have to have somebody that can do what he does. You have to have someone with his energy.
And you know what the funny thing? Mount is nowhere near Fred on the physicality level.
Nowhere near. Nowhere near.
Win the ball.
Nowhere near. And it's showing there. Look, so we know Ten Hag got the tactics wrong. We know he got it badly wrong. But then you're looking at the body language of the players. You're looking at the body language of the players, right? Like I said, there's no midfield. The midfield was just, it was like Wolves. It was a ghost. It wasn't there, right? And then you're looking at the top, and you can see at the top of the pitch, the strikers are not happy. Rashford does not want to play 9. He just doesn't want to do it, and you can see it. And again, he gets a ball, and he's trying to take on 4 guys. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't keep doing that. You can't keep doing the same thing again. It's the highest level of stupidity when someone
going down blind. He's doing the blind alley thing again, isn't he?
He's doing it again and again. He did it all. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean,
I think he can say listen, he's doing it on purpose to show the fans, I'm not comfortable. I don't want to play. Why is this manager playing me up front?
Nuruddin, come on, man. Come on.
He's doing it on purpose.
You should be saying to someone.
He was behaving there, fan. Did you see the way he was behaving? Like when somebody tackled him, he's just letting him, and then he does this half-hearted press. The worst press I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so Nuruddin, so what you said before, right? You know, you mentioned, like, you know, you're going a bit deeper. You said, okay, there's an issue with Ten Hag. Ten Hag's turn. It's not the Ten Hag of last year, which you could be right. But we also know that the issues on the team on individual level, they're also not good. They're really, really not good. And we haven't fixed them yet. We have not fixed them. Even Martinez didn't have a good game. Martinez didn't look calm. He wasn't
awful.
He's been out for 3.5 months. He needs games to get back.
No, he does. But Nuruddin, come on, like, watching that, I said to us, we were in trouble. If we played the same team, we're in trouble. Now the pressure is growing on him fast, because you know what happened in the second half? Their manager, the Greek guy, he basically said, listen, why you fear these jokers? Just play your game and you'll beat them. This is not a good team. Look what happened. Look what happened. The halftime team talk worked for him.
Irfan, hold it there. I just want to play you something. If you can hear it, please let me know in the comments if you can hear it, people. Because genuinely said, this is what came out of his own mouth. This is what he said when he gave the interview to MUTV, and somebody sent it to me on Twitter the other day, and this is what he said. Genuinely, this is what he said.
Not singing "Living on a Prayer," is he?
Yeah.
Well, let me correct the Aussie Greek guy. Okay, someone's giving me called the Greek. Okay, the Australian guy. Okay.
You lost for words.
No, Nuruddin, you're muted.
Detail that makes a difference. How much is the club and the tradition of the? And now, of course, you know a lot.
Yeah, we can hear that pretty well.
You can hear that. Go on.
To know everything, and so gathering all the information I do by many things like the video, but also therefore you have your staff, your coaches who are telling you a lot. So you get a lot of information, and now of course you know a lot more when you are 1 year around.
Does that make you more confident then heading into this season than last year?
No, last year also confident, but it
Muted. You're
You're
muted.
You're on mute,
Nuruddin,
Nuruddin.
you're muted.
The guy says to him, this is what Manchester United do to me, people. They melt my brain. So I'm thinking I'm muting the phone, but I'm muting the laptop.
Listen, they mute.
This is what
They
Manchester
melt
United
every Man United supporter's brain, not just yours, Nuruddin. They melt everyone's.
Listen, this is Eric Ten Hag on the eve of the Premier League on the Manchester United channel, giving an interview talking about players and style of play. And he's saying, are you optimistic about the season? And as most managers will say, yes, I am. He's like, no, I have to see it. So listen to him.
No, we got that, Nuruddin. We got that bit.
Does that mean that your vision of Manchester United has changed at all from when you first arrived to now?
No, because as I said,
Influence your vision for what your United is going to look like?
no, it's a part of it, and to see. So what do fans expect from your team, and go in that historical prospect, but definitely one of the things what's most important is what are your players like, and always your players, they dictate how you have to play, and you can't put your own vision only on players when they are not capable of doing that vision.
So does that mean that your vision of Manchester United has changed at all from when you first arrived to now?
No, and because as I said, when I was appointed, and I know like 4.5, but once you're coming in and you go into the team, you go in the individual players and you make analysis of their competences, what they are capable of doing, and from there on you are building your way of play.
You said on the tour as well about it being far too.
Can I just come in here at this
Did
point?
you hear that? Listen, let me just repeat that for the people at the back who didn't get that.
Yeah.
Eric Ten Hag was asked about his style of play, what he wants. He said he wants to make sure to the fans, so this is a message to all of us who are Manchester United fans. He basically says, I can't imprint my vision on the players. It's the players, the types of players you have dictate the way you play. But this is not what I was sold, Eric Ten Hag. I'm sorry to fucking say it, Eric Ten Hag. This is not what I was sold. The reason why I wanted you instead of Poch, because I expected a better football. I
Right.
don't mind losing football games. Most of us, Irfan, Jarvis, Bumbaye, Saeed, we've all seen Manchester United win big trophies. We won it all, like the song says. We want to see a style of play. We don't mind losing.
Wait a second, Nuruddin. Wait a second.
Yeah.
So are you saying, right, from what he just said, are you saying from what he just said that he doesn't think he can create his vision from these footballers? That's what you said, yeah? That's what
Irfan, I think what we're saying here exactly is Eric Ten Hag says that his vision is limited to the material he has to work with. What I would respond to him on that basis is that's absolutely unacceptable, because what that will do is, how long is a piece of string? At what point do you say to us, come out and officially say, I'm going to show you Eric Ten Hag football now? Well, you've had £400 million.
Yeah, how many of his players have we got?
What I'm trying to say is there will never be an answer to that question, and that could just go on forever. So if I ask him in four more weeks of this type of football, well, Eric, how's the vision coming along? Well, still confined to the fact that we have what we have. Well, all I'd respond is, well, there's teams around us that don't have what we have. You might not win the Premier League, but you better play a damn better brand of football than what we're seeing, because this is atrocious. And these players are well better than what we're seeing. Because I'm looking at our counterparts going in the top 7 or 8 teams. They all play better football than what I've seen in the last 2 weeks. So it's unacceptable, that kind of argument. You have to.
It's not. But Bombay, this is where I rebuttal you. It's not. So let me land, please.
Yeah, of
Eric Ten
course.
Hag came into this football club. He wanted a midfielder like Frankie de Jong. Manchester United, instead of getting him some player who's similar to Frankie de Jong that can pass the ball, pick the ball up from the defense, they got him Casemiro, who's totally different, who can't carry the ball, who's just a destroyer, who's not a playmaker. So when he wanted to play a specific type of football, that player they not deliver that player, and that's the type of player he was going to build his team around, right? Then he asked for Anthony and these players. Manchester United waited 2 months, nearly a month and a half, till Anthony was 80 million and then bought him. When he was 55 million, they should have bought him. At the end of the day, he wanted Kim Min-jae. He wanted Eric Kane. They didn't get him Harry Kane. They didn't get Kim Min-jae, right? He wanted Mount. But who's to say Kim Min-jae in the team, Mount, Harry Kane, and maybe Højlund wouldn't make the difference, and Unana would have made a difference, but they haven't. And they still, Manchester United needed another midfielder. He wants Sophie Amrabat, and they're not getting him that player. They got him a goalkeeper. They got him a striker who's a 20-year-old. We're all banking on, and tonight he's trending on Twitter because people think he's going to be our fucking savior. So Eric Ten Hag there explicitly is telling you to your face. But you know what? That's what I didn't want last season. Ask Saeed, I swear to God. Ask Jarvis, ask Irfan. Mumbai, you heard me. Therapy, you all heard me. I said last season, I don't mind finishing 6th or 7th. And I said we can finish 6th or 7th. Because you know what I wanted? Eric Ten Hag to play his football. Not be a coward, not come into this pressure or winning trophies. Manchester United have won plenty of trophies. I'd rather you build a team, Jarvis, Irfan, Saeed, and Mumbai. We build a team that can compete in the years to come, then try to win a trophy and play players to death like he did last season.
Well, let me ask you.
I'm not all about it.
Check this out. Do you know?
I didn't. So I would have took the pain last season because it was first season, and now what he's gonna try to do this season, right? He should have done last season, and this season he's under extreme pressure. So he should have read the room last season and expected last season to be the experimental year, because majority of the fans would have said it's his first season, the style of play we're going to be on, and made the central key thing to his management of Manchester United style of play. Majority of us would have took that because we've seen this club, we've seen Fergie built teams. Fergie didn't always win. Fergie didn't always win at all. At times we were finishing 3rd or 4th at times. But Fergie could come back and build the team. So we could have followed that plan. Instead, he got into the pressure, and I think Stephen McLaren is part of that, and whatever the pressure of the Glazers and what the fucking lack of football structure, he realized, I want to win a trophy. He banked on that, and guess what happened? You know what? When you gamble, sometimes you lose. And now players look shattered. We go to fucking America. Last year we went to fucking, where did we go? Australia. After the most grueling season in football history because of the World Cup, we go to America, not stay in one area. We fly from left to right like it's like the continent the US is. It's a fucking continent. It's not. Do you know? Fly left to right, and we spent so many hours, right? And now we're paying for it. After fucking second half, the players look shot. The physicality weren't there. The aggression weren't there. The rhythm and passing and keeping the ball and the decision making were not there. So that's what I'm talking to you guys, and I want your point of views in this. Go ahead.
Nuruddin, I know what you're saying. Okay, I hear you about fatigue, but it's not okay. Fatigue is major, but do you see the style of play? Did you see style of play in the first 25, 30 minutes? Did you see style of play?
You know, in a half an hour,
I think, Irfan, I think what Dino's saying, bro. I think what Dino's saying. Listening to that, I think he's making a good point in the sense that Eric Ten Hag is playing to the strength of the players rather than implementing his philosophy and imposing it on the players, weeding out the stuff he doesn't want and just continuing on that journey. He seems to be adapting Manchester United to our opposition. When you look at City, Brighton, you look at Liverpool, they have a very strong identity of play that they go and do it, whether it's Brighton do it against everybody, they're not bothered. But we seem to be shaping ourselves to suit whatever we're up against. And we're not, let's say we get Frankie de Jong next year, then by Dino's logic, we have wasted 2 years because this team around him is not well versed in the Eric Ten Hag philosophy of play. And I think what Eric Ten Hag is doing as well is a little bit dangerous. City are without De Bruyne today, but it's seamless anyway. But Eric Ten Hag is playing to the strength of the players rather than implementing his philosophy and imposing it on the players, weeding out the stuff he doesn't want and just continuing on that journey. they play the exact same way. Another player comes in, he's versed in that type of football. And this is the same with Brighton. I'm using them as examples because they have really strong identity. Whereas we're not building an identity, it doesn't seem. It's a mishmash all over the place. Whereas if you were playing, right, we're going to play to feet, carpet football. We're not going long anymore. I don't care what happens. You have to adapt to this type of play. And then as we're adapting and as we're getting a bit better at it and moving forward, you bring a player that's going to improve that type of play. But everybody, let's say you have an injury, it's okay. The next guy knows how to play this type of football, this identity of football. You can tweak the strategy a little bit, but right now, it just looks like shit to me. Every week is something, different, or it's just a mishmash, or you have spells. So we're not further along from. It's just a continuation of last season.
Yeah, big up, Bombay. Let me get these super chats quickly, and I'll let you, Irfan, come in. I'll let Saeed come in, and then Irfan, and then Jarvis. Ten Hag isn't immune from criticism, but I ain't Eric Ten Hag out. Get the Glazers out first. We lack the striker and a proper midfield. We can't score goals. And football is about those things, about those two fucking posts, that white line and that bar. And that is where the big money should be, players. And this club told us in fucking December, they had since December to go and get a striker. Instead, Mason Mount all of a sudden is the number one signing that we have to make.
Poster boy. The poster boy.
Joke. Big up John A. John says, I'm here to cheer you up, everyone. Please keep yourselves happy. Watch old Manchester United videos. Enjoy friends and family. No to depression. Big up to John A. No to depression. That's what we're saying.
That'll make it worse, John, man. What we were and what we are, man.
Exactly.
It's heartbreaking, bro.
Honestly, and let me just get this. Big up. Vidia says, sign Amrabat. He will cover more ground in 4-1-4-1-1. Right. Big up to you, brother. And it says here, Tom says, remember when he first came? Era's coming to an end. Era came to an end for Liverpool. He was right about Liverpool. Era's come to an end for Liverpool. Liverpool have not won big trophies since he came. But at the end of the day, for me, Irfan, on the question where I posed, what you heard from Eric Ten Hag on the audio that I played, did you think Eric Ten Hag should have stuck to his principles, like Bombaye said, and played his football, and then tried to move up the players and impose his style and play on players instead of adapting and thinking, I need to win a trophy and we need to finish fourth? Because at the end of the day, that is short-termism. We've been here for a decade. What has short-term FC got us?
How many players are we away after 400 million, guys? That's a question.
Listen, let me go to Saeed and I'll go to Jarvis and come back to Irfan. Saeed, should he have done that? Where has short-term FC got us? I know the fans are like, we need a trophy. Sometimes, you know what, trophy can paper over the fucking cracks at you.
Yeah. 100%. Listen, you know what it is with last season? We gave it obliged because we said to ourselves, 2 finals. But the thing is, though, Man City won the treble. So it kind of was like, I'm not really celebrating last season. We've done it. Fair play to Ten Hag. But next season has to be minimum of 5 to 7 signings. I said after that, you can see the tweets there. I was in Wembley and I put a picture up. I said, right, it's happened. Man City are going to win the treble, but Man United next season want to compete, get 5 to 7 signings. We've only bought 3. And one of them's a potential. One of them's a top signing in Nano. And one of them's Mason Mount, which I didn't want, by the way. But again, hey ho, we move. Now, when I look at it and I'm looking at this team and I'm like, it's still light years behind Man City's and Arsenal, where they at least have a style of play, and then you've got the players that are conducive to the style of play. But are they these players? Are the likes of Wan-Bissaka? We're having a mismatch of Wan-Bissaka versus Dalot. 1 minute's Wan-Bissaka, 1 minute's Dalot. Would every other manager be toying around? Do Arteta and what do you call it, Klopp and the top managers toy around with their fullbacks or certain players and whatnot? 1 minute the fans want Anthony, 1 minute the fans want someone else. It's like we don't know what the formula is. So what we do is 1 minute we do this, 1 minute we'll do that, 1 minute it's this solution's a problem. And I'm like, what is the answer? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm struggling. For once, I don't really have answers. For once, I'm looking at the manager, I'm thinking, can he really get a grip of the situation? Or is he naive? Or is he going to learn from his mistakes? Or is he going to sink and the ship's going to sink on him? That's where I look at it and I'm thinking, I've been here with Mourinho and I said there was a certain stage where you're like, man, things are not working out. Is he going to change it? He doesn't change it. Same with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Was like, I seen patterns in his game. I was like, well, it's getting a bit sticky. Ten Hag can save this. Ten Hag can rectify this. We're not saying it's a lost cause, but you have to learn from your mistakes quick. And is Eric Ten Hag going to do that? Big question, man.
He's got to.
And I don't
Said,
see any
man.
answers.
Jarvis, what about in this season we consolidate and Eric Ten Hag imposes his football on the footballers that he's got and clears that out? Do you genuinely, any of you genuinely think Bruno's a type of Eric Ten Hag player?
Yeah, I said it yesterday before you came on when you were on your bike that one of the players we need to replace for Ten Hag to play his style is Bruno. He doesn't fit, you know. I love Bruno. He has given us so many good times with goals and assists, and you know he is what it is, what he is. But he's not a possession-based player who can. He's not a Gundogan. He's not a Bernardo Silva. He's not that type of player that I think Ten Hag needs. I just want to address one point that I was talking about, the traveling, because for second year in a row, Manchester United doesn't appear ready when we start the season. And to be fair, that's Eric Ten Hag's responsibility, you know. So my question is, why don't the journalists ask him these questions? Why aren't your team ready? You know, we ask him questions about Maguire, we ask him questions about the Glazers, Greenwood, and if he thinks it's cool that we have a player in the Women's World Cup, and like stupid questions. Why don't we ask our managers the hard questions? Because it's the second time in a row the players don't look ready. You know, it's exactly the same. So why don't we ask the real questions?
Jarvis, apparently, Eric Ten Hag got into a fighting with a marketing team of Manchester United because they wanted more media, social media posts from players when they were resting in America.
Yeah.
Wait, apparently, Nuruddin. Apparently, or is that solid? You know, rumor. What is that?
That's what the people, that journalists on the tour were reporting. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, if you're a top athlete, you know how it is. You're a top athlete. You need to recover. Like Ten Hag has said himself, the three principles: you need to sleep, and you need to eat, and you need to recover. That's like the three things he talks about. United players need to be better. It's not the intensity of the training; it's the other three parts that can get us to the next level. And then suddenly we travel 50 hours per airplane. We go 13 time zones to the other side of the US and 13 time zones back. So it's 26 time zones. How do you sleep? How do you recover sitting in a chair on an airplane after you have been running all day long? You know, it's bullshit.
Eric Ten Hag, I don't know if Eric Ten Hag is...
We're going to come back to you. And I'm going to go to Irfan next. I'll ask you...
the lights up, by the way.
Listen, I'll ask you this. There's over 800 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. This is a for the channel, by the way. 800 people watching.
Come on.
It is what it is. And it's always...
They want to see you crying. That's why, Nordin. They want to see you crying, Nordin.
No,
that's
listen,
why.
I'm not cry because Saeed, you know me. Some of the fan base call me negative when I tell them the truth. When all the murder madness and this window's been this, when I told them Manchester United needed 5 players that go straight into this team to refresh the first team. To refresh in that first team.
Hang on. Pause that comment, Nuruddin. Pause it a second.
Jarvis, let me ask a question, Jarvis, and I'll come to you. Quick answer, Jarvis. Would you take Eric Ten Hag? I would take Eric Ten Hag trying to imprint his way of playing and putting the players out that he doesn't trust, getting the players into the team and to play his stuff, and us not finishing in the top 4, not winning no. I'll take that if it means we succeed and build for the next year. I'll take that because he should have done that last season.
Yeah, but the thing is, and we have talked about this, you know, it's not that easy. You know, Eric Ten Hag is not Alex Ferguson. He don't have full control of the club. Every time he needs something, he have to write it down on a note, pass it to one of the middle guys, who then can send an email to the top guys, and they will discuss like 6 or 8 of the siblings or whatever, and then they will use 1 month to give him an answer, and it goes back again. You know, it's not like it used to be. Eric Ten Hag is fighting. He's swimming up currency. It's very hard. It's no wonder Mourinho, Solskjaer, Van Gaal, and now Ten Hag, everybody, top managers, they look knackered, you know, after 1 year in the job. It's hard. I'm 100% sure if Ten Hag could, he would, but it's difficult. I'm not making up excuses, but that's the reality. That's the facts.
No,
The
that's a
Glazers.
good answer.
That's
a
the
very
problem.
good answer. That's a very good answer. Irfan, take it away. I want you to be specific. Answer the question. Are you, as a fan, are you willing to accept Eric Ten Hag, what he said from the audio, to go and do what he should have done last year, to do it this year, and build a team that can challenge in a year and a half time, 2 years time? Do you think anybody's got the time and patience for that?
Nerdin, look. Fans have got a multitude of opinions and reasons why they watch football, okay? Most of them want glory. Most of them want it like what United used to have under Fergie. They want that now. They're watching their rivals win everything under the sun, and they're watching their club. Like you mentioned yesterday about, like doing an Amazon about Man United, yeah? And you can get like 4 or 5 parts. If the team's like a calamity, you can get maybe 5 parts at Amazon. We could get 50 parts. We could do a 50-part Amazon series, and it'd be the most watched thing about the fall from grace of one of the biggest sport institutions and how it's comedy FC now. Now look, the thing is, this is where you have to have balls, right? And the thing is, we don't know what he's dealing with behind the scenes, but we can only imagine that he's thinking. Sometimes I think he's got an impossible task, because how the hell is he coping with the madness that's going on behind the scenes? I know we don't talk about it. We say he's got to do the work with the players on the pitch, but how do you cope with this madness behind the scenes? And that question jumps right into the question that you're asking me of his style of play. Can he put his style of play across? Because the problem is, I'd say he might have a chance to put his style of play across if it wasn't like the craziest, maddest shit behind the scenes going on behind him, where they're going to sell. Every year we think that Shakespearean play that Man United has become now, right? Or Greek tragedy, even, right? It's become that we just every year we think we start. You start the fan channels, and we're hoping that the seas will calm a bit. The bastards are going to go. We're going to slightly get some normality back in the club, and we're going to get our heads back, and we're going to see a team slowly progressing. But no, the Mason Greenwood saga, the fact that they said they're going to sell the club, they're playing 2 people against each other. I mean, look, how do you expect someone really to keep his head together and work out what he wants to do with the team, really? I mean, I know I'm cutting him some slack, right? But I'm trying to think, what would he do? I know he made major mistakes today. But the major mistake today in the game today was that Joker Shaw standing there watching that guy come and make the cross. Why didn't he come to him? And I tweeted at halftime to you, Nuruddin. I said, what's this guy doing? So these things are not helping Ten Hag. But in terms of Ten Hag having the balls to say, I'm going to play my way, I don't know if his balls are as big as that, to tell you the truth. I don't know if they are, because at the moment they're proving not. And we discussed this before, Nuruddin. We said, why the fuck is he buying Mason Mount when you need a top-level striker first and foremost? Why did he buy Mount first? So he's opened himself up to kind of, being made a laughing stock, because it's on him. This team, this loss today is on him. But the way we lost against Wolves was shocking, to tell you the truth.
Lost, we won the game, but yeah, we won.
Sorry, yeah, but listen, that's what I mean. Fans who got giddy about us winning 1-0, you lost the plot, because that was a big warning sign. And like I said, Nuruddin, I just don't know whether he is sane enough and calm enough to go, I'm going to play my way. I don't give a shit. And I know what you're saying, Nuruddin. You're a purist. You want to see proper football. You don't care if they win, lose or not. But you're not the typical Man United fan. The typical fan goes to Man United to get away from whatever shit is going on in his life. Some have got good lives, some have got bad lives, and it's an escapism. And then you've got different levels of rationality when you support a team. You've got highly rational to highly irrational, okay?
Hold it there. Hold it there 1 second. I'm just letting Saeed is going to go. He's been streaming all day, and the man's shattered. He's done.
Yeah, I'm going to go soon, man.
Yeah. Saeed, last question to you. Where do we go from here?
We go again. That's the question. Listen.
We go again, FC. Here we go.
Side just singles out.
Wait, let me ask you the question. Let me ask you the question, because it's a good bedtime question, yeah? Have you sort of lowered your expectations for the season already?
No, I think United will probably finish 3rd or 4th in that area. But the thing is, why I don't champion 3rd or 4th is because I still think it's average compared to the first 2. When you look at it, it's still consistent. Man United will probably find some good home form and then probably win a cup to kind of mask all the problems. My thing is, right, I wanted an evolution of the way we.
Are you sure about that?
Saeed, I'm amazed. Saeed, I'm amazed you're saying that. I'm absolutely amazed.
Listen, wherever for me, it wouldn't surprise me if United finished top 6 anyway. So end of the day, maybe I am expecting them to finish as high as that. But that's what I gave them at the start of the season. That was my expectations. Obviously, if I see their team dwindling, obviously my expectation will get lower and lower and lower. But my expectations for me was to play better football and to get as close to City. That was what I said at the start of the season. Play better football and get closer to Man City. Right now, I'm not going to lie to you. It doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like we're going to play better football. And it doesn't look like we're probably going to get closer to City. So its reality is maybe the expectation will have to be lower. It might have to be top 5. It may be that we don't even finish in the top 5. The way we're playing right now, Brighton are playing better football than us. When you're looking at other teams that have just come up right now, Brentford are playing better. Tottenham are looking like they've got a better midfield than us. So if we don't find the balance, our team will get lower and lower and lower to the point now where it'll just be mass destruction, where it'll be the case of, you know what? You know when they say lambs to the slaughter? That's what we're doing right now. Garnacho's starting. Mount's in a position that he shouldn't be in. Bruno Fernandes is occupying a position that he shouldn't be in. Casemiro's getting it. Everything's lamb to the slaughter. Look at the defense suffering a result. Then it will be Onana, and everyone will be blaming Onana. It's a whole mess. So that's what it is.
Let me ask you this question. To Spurs have still got Bentancur to come back. He's one of their best players.
Bentancur, yeah.
Big up. Hey, listen, Saeed, let them know when you're next live in here. Let the people know when you're next live.
Tomorrow, I'll be live tomorrow. Just check the channel. But listen, people, make sure you like the video here because there's a lot of people in here that haven't liked the video. So make sure you just support Nuruddin's channel and get him to 10K, man. So big up the people, man. And I'll be watching this probably in my bed. So I'm going to bed, people, man. I'm done, man, tonight. Love, man.
Get some rest.
Well
Get some
done,
rest,
man.
bro.
Well said.
Listen, big up. Bumbaye, I'll ask you the same question. Are you willing to take Erik ten Hag? No, let Irfan finish. Sorry, go ahead, Irfan. Finish your point. And then we'll go to Bumbaye. Same question.
I mean, look, Nuruddin, that's what I'm saying. You're asking me a question about would he really, have the balls to extol this type of play that he wants to put together? And it's quite a deep question. But again, Nuruddin, I'm going to cut him some slack and say, listen, I just don't think he's got the calm and patience and balls to say, and override all this madness behind the scenes and go, I'm going to do it my way, because that could backfire badly. We play well, but we lose 10 games. We lose 10, 15 games, and we finish 9th or 10th, which sadly is not what's expected. A team cannot, as big as Man United can be 10, 15th, even though it's playing well. It just can't do that. So the reality is, it's a results-based game, and you know that, Nuruddin. You said it before. It's a results-based game. The ideology of playing beautiful football, even though you're getting beat, which is what the purest fan would like, all of us like. I just think that's a pipe dream. I don't think that's the reality of football management today. And that's why. And so that's why I'm cutting him some slack, thinking, how is he coping with all the bullshit behind the scenes? How is he he's got all the prima donna shit on the stage, on the football pitch to deal with. And then you've also got like him and his own trying to get his own philosophy across. Like, obviously, I keep saying it. I think my Mason Mount was a big mistake. We could have, again, so he's going to make mistakes because he's not the perfect manager yet. So all these things together are sort of revealing themselves to us so early in the season, not even midway or quarter in the season. They're revealing themselves after 2 games. And I don't think I'm overreacting at the moment. I really don't think I am. When Saeed says, on this form, we're going to lucky to finish 7th or 8th or 9th on this form at the moment. We really are. The way we got beat by Wolves at home, I mean, I know we won, but to me, that was a loss. Was so alarming to me. I was shocked. Even though I'd seen the preseason, I did not expect someone to batter us like that. Wolves at home, I didn't expect it. I don't care if we won or not. We got battered. And my worry is we're still suffering from that. We need to shape up quick. And he needs to make some big decisions about his formation and what he's going to do very, very quickly. Otherwise, the ship is starting to sink already after 2 games. Well, and I don't think I'm exaggerating.
Listen, big up this Sis VP says, Erik ten Hag to play his style of play. Erik ten Hag to play his style of style of play, and got crushed during the first 2 games of the season. He has to change his style based on fans' cries after 2 losses. Listen, you could say that, but I'm sorry to say, but I don't know if you're a United fan. This shit, I've been seeing it since fucking February. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This away form, I've been seeing it since fucking February. It's not about 2 games.
Yeah, but wait a second, Nuruddin. But wait a second.
Irfan, the away form from last season, The same shit I saw has been since February.
Okay,
When we
yeah, but
won-
okay, yeah, but Nuruddin,
Listen,
our home
we won
form, our
listen,
home form was
listen,
very good. Our home
listen.
form was not like that. The Wolves game, our home form was not like the
No,
Wolves game. It
we're
wasn't.
talking about away. Today's
He's
game
talking
was
about
away.
away form, bro.
No, I
Today's
know, but
game
I'm
was
saying
away.
to you, but he said
No.
he said we're showing the old away form is the away form. It's still as bad as last year. But I'm saying
that's
the
what I-
home
that's
form
what I'm
wasn't as bad as the
making.
Wolves game. The
Listen.
home form against Wolves, it wasn't.
Listen, that's the point I'm trying to make to this guy. This guy's been sarcastic. Every time I try to play style of play and got crushed during the first 2 games of last season. He had to change his style based on fans' cries after 2 losses. Well, you know what? I apologize to you because I'm dyslexic and I read that wrong.
Yeah.
I read that wrong. I agree with you. He should not have changed his style and he should have gone with it. And he would have got better, but he would have imposed his style on it. I'm sorry, I read that the wrong way. I apologize to Sis VP. Yes,
Wait
that's
a
the
second.
truth.
Is it so? This guy's Sis VP is saying that Eric Ten Hag tried to change his style of play and got crushed in the first 2 games against, was it Brentford and Brighton last season? Is that what he's talking about?
Especially the Brentford.
So is this guy saying that he changed his style? He realized he couldn't have his style of play last year. He's reverted back to just practical each game by game and not having his thing. Is that what the guy was saying?
Yeah. We agree. We agree. I read it the wrong way, brother. I apologize. Sis VP. I read it the other way. Bumbaye, are you willing to take it? Because you've seen United win it all. Are you willing to take Eric Ten Hag not being a coward, literally dying by his own sword, going out the way he wants to?
I think
fundamentally putting his principles down, and the players have to sink or swim.
I mean, if Eric Ten Hag is listening to anything that's happening this evening, whether it's social media, us here, whatever, then he understands, like most managers understand, whether it's their fault or not. Unfortunately, they have to face the firing squad. So whether Eric Ten Hag believes that he can take the heat from the fans by implementing his own style, and he has the backing of the people above him that know what's coming, is up to him, or whether he's going to fold because he wants to get results to appease us, and all these types of things. He has to be a man and be a manager of substance, and stand tall and believe in his work. It's that simple. It's not about whether I want him to do this or that. What I want is some better football. The most important thing when I bought into the Eric Ten Hag thing, I mean, you know me. My two of my most favorite managers of my ever was Luis Van Gaal, and I love Jose Mourinho, and I wanted to keep Van Gaal. I thought he was doing a superb job.
I agree with you.
And I wanted to give him one more year because some of the players we bought him really let him down just to finish things off. But we were a great side. I thought the work we were doing was good, and I would have kept Mourinho.
I'll give anything for that style of football.
What I'm saying is,
listen, Mumbai, I can just come back 1 second. He signed the wrong players because all the players the club didn't give him, they were his 5th or 4th choices.
Yeah, sure. And we had a problem with Depay and Falcao, but we were very, very good in possession, very press resistant. We just couldn't finish moves off. And I thought another year, and I had so much optimism. And then Jose, you know where I stand, but Eric has to. He can't be taking the bullets when it's his fault and when it's not his fault, because the people above him are screwing with his plans. If that's what's happening, then it's up to him to make it known. Otherwise, if you're just going to drag this out and stay, it won't end well. Mourinho put the owners into disrepute, and he was willing to think, well, forget it. Pay me my 26 and I'll leave. If you're not going to back me and you want to back the players, he's done it before, and I respect that. Let's not drag this out. It is what it is, and he exposed them. So I don't know what Eric Ten Hag's going through, but all I'd say to him is, look, we've spent a reasonable amount of money. We're not the best team in the league, but I think the way that we're playing these first 2 games is very underwhelming. I think personally now that we are a much better side than what we saw today and what we saw against Wolves. And we have to really address this, and he has to make a decision. If he's still not sure whether I want to play what I did at Ajax, I want to impose that on them, and he wants to wait till he has his full set of players, well, he's going to be gone before he gets those players because that's going to take time. And how many players away is he? I don't know that. I mean, I look at this team. I think we've got a really good goalkeeper. We've got 4 centre backs which are good. Like, okay, Harry Maguire, and a 5th one in Johnny Evans, and we've got cover there. You've got Delo and Wan-Bissaka that are, they're good. I'm not telling you we've got world class, but they're good. Got Luke Shaw and Malacia. Then you go into the midfield. We've got 8 midfielders, man. Different types. Got Scott McTominay. Got Casemiro, Mount, Van der Beek. Who else we got? We got Bruno. There's lots of different types of players there. Wing, you got Pellistri that's done really well. You got Amad Diallo that I like. You got Anthony. You got Sancho. You got Rashford. These are not bad players. All right, they're not playing very well, but this is all part of a manager's job. Either get them out or improve them, and he did improve players last year. But I think it's a bad start. Nobody's talking about sacking anybody at all. It's way too early for that. Way too early for that. But I think we're just alarmed at how poorly we've started. And he will be alarmed. And he will make the players understand this is a disaster.
So why is he lying to us then? Because last season he wasn't lying to us. How's
he lied to us?
When we realised tonight, he said the midfield was all right and that we played better, and he basically said we should have scored. But I'm sorry, Eric Ten Hag, you're not playing against children. You're not playing on Spurs on the 14th. You're playing against their.
I think. Look, can I just say?
Sorry, Boomba. Let me just say this: they're going to compete, and if they score first, that happens in football. You concede, but you get back into the game.
I just want to,
and I just want to ask Irfan is saying it. I saw the style of play in the first half. No, for half an hour we made good openings. We only made one clear good chance in half an hour, and after that the game was done.
Look, I just want to say, I'm not really a fan of clinging on to every word the manager says in a press conference, because he's got to be careful when he's in there because his players are listening. He can't, throw them under the bus like that. He has to maybe he's giving them confidence and they'll know their shit. But sometimes when a manager says something like they were good, in the dressing room, he's saying to them, look, I'm taking the hits here, guys. You've got to up your levels. This is not good enough. You've got to press better than this. Casemiro's getting killed on his own. They're walking through. So don't take everything in a press conference, man, as gospel.
No, I think sometimes I do. You know why? Because you know what? Ralph Ranieri came in and told me how it should be done.
And I understand that. But
Eric Ten Hag, listen, last season, when the players put in that shocking performance, I don't care, it was the fucking first game of the season. And like Irfan says, it was so disturbing. But you know what? I wasn't shocked. I was not shocked about that. I wasn't shocked. He used to come out and said it's unacceptable. But tonight, Man United got lost. We got bopped for 40 minutes. We got bopped. 100 minutes football is now in the Premier League. It's over 100 minutes. We play for half an hour. We got bopped around the pitch for the rest of the minute. And that's what happened to us. So when he's got to come out and say it, instead of saying, oh, we played all right, the midfield was fine, and we don't need any more signings.
I don't think anybody believes that our midfield was particularly good. It was, everybody seems to agree that the midfield, out of the 3 players, Bruno was arguably the worst player. He seems to be getting the brunt of it. But, Mourinho, for example, will come out and he will throw you under the bus. He'll execute you in public to light a fire under your ass. But a lot of people don't like that. And sometimes players fold under that kind of thing. He knows this dressing room and he knows these players. So sometimes it's different. It's horses for courses. Horses for courses. We're only 2 games in. Maybe if this was 15 games in, you'd be hearing a different type of tune. It's 2 games, and we won 1 of them, so it's 3 out of 6, but the performance levels are shit. He has to turn it around. He's got time, man. It's 2 games. If we win next week and play well, fine. We just go from there. But, I understand that these performances are nowhere near it, and he's got to do better, and everybody associated with Man United, players, manager, they know that.
Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, I was thinking when Boumbaye was talking, it's the away form. Is Ten Hag naive, or why can't he understand he has to change his tactic. You can't play the same as Old Trafford when you go away in the Premier League. That the level of competition is so high, even when you're playing the bottom teams, the lower league teams. So Ten Hag is in a way extremely stubborn or extremely naive. He's one or the other. But yeah, I think he plays really. I would say when he lost, he's not playing his style anymore. He's struggling. He don't have the players. I think Ten Hag feels a little bit lost at the moment because he can't implement his style. You know what he's best at, but he's still doing his job. He's trying the best for the team and he's trying to win games. That's his assignment. He needs to win games. So we can't like ask him to go down guns blazing, losing all the games, trying to implement his style. You know, his job is to try to win games. So that's why he have to be pragmatic sometimes and don't play his style. You may not agree with me, but that's reality. That's Ten Hag's job. So, but he's not doing a good job at the moment, of course. But there's levels and things are complicated, and we have touched a lot of good points. So yeah. I'm not sure what to say more, but Ten Hag needs to do something. He needs to change some of the players. We saw when Rashford came late, he was benched right away, and we got a response from Rashford. So he needs to trigger the players, find out to trigger them. You know, we don't need to play favorism. We can't start the same 11 after a poor performance as he did today, because he proved that today. He needs to change them out, try to trigger them. You know, if you're not performing, well, here's the bench, or you have to perform better. It's not that hard.
I just wish people that stop defending bad managers Google this. Listen, so you know what? You know it's not all the managers' fault. At the end of the day, for me, I don't think Manchester United are going to win Champions League or the league under this ownership, under this football structure, Glazonomics. So I just wanted to see better football. And that's the reason why I wanted Erik ten Hag. And I'm sorry, but I'm not seeing it. Because Erik ten Hag from last season went in for, he wants to make Manchester United competitive. But I'm willing to be patient to build a team. But like Irfan said, some fans don't want that. Some fans were crying out for a trophy. And when they got their little shitty Mickey Mouse trophy, it cost them the rest of the season, because now, those after February, we stopped performing. So when people are saying, oh, what happened? Well, this has been coming. So today it didn't shock me what I was watching. It didn't shock me. Last season, guess who I was blaming after 60 minutes? And Jarvis will tell you, Ericsson. But Ericsson didn't play for 60 minutes today. Yeah. So I couldn't blame him. I couldn't blame him, Irfan. At the end of the day, Erik ten Hag, you're going to get the sack anyway. That's part of parcel of football manager. But live and die by your principles. Live and die by your principles. That's all it is for me. That's what I'm going to say. But where do you think we go from here, Irfan? Where do you think we can go from here?
I mean, sky's the limit, man.
I mean, look.
Are we overreacting, by the way? Let's do a genuinely in the chat. Are we overreacting? It's only 2 games. Out of 2 games, we've got 3 points. 3 points that was the biggest daylight robbery ever. And I agree with Irfan. I have never seen Manchester United get battered like the way we got battered by Wolverhampton and win a game. Yeah. Right? So let's do the check, people. Let's do the check. Right?
Just say yes or no. Yes or no.
Are we overreacting?
Yeah. Get in the chats, people. Let's say, just say yes or no. That's it. I mean, Nuruddin, like I said, you know, we got a home game. Who's the next home game against? It's Forest, is it?
Forest.
Yeah. No,
yeah. So
Forest.
you know, you've got a little bit of a chance to remedy it, and then you got a massive game against Arsenal,
and then a massive game against Brighton after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, there's not much time.
If I stopped there 1 second, I said Brighton. You should have seen what Jarvis did. Jarvis like.
Yeah. I know. What I fear at the moment is we will have 6 points after 5 games. That could be the reality. We could lose to Brighton and Arsenal, as it seems, and we have to beat Forest. So, yeah, Ten Hag needs to work some miracles. You know, we have. I think we have one more game, and then we have a break for the national teams. So hopefully we could get some trainings and some drills.
But
Yeah, you were
Jarvis,
saying,
do you
Bube.
see a style of play, Jarvis? Do you actually see a style of play, Man United? Do you actually see one?
But the thing is, the strange thing is, I saw the best style of play we had was before the World Cup break last season.
Yeah.
Then we were at our best. Ericsson was firing. Casemiro was firing. Dalot,
Yes.
he was one of the best right backs in the world at the moment. And Rashford had this spell. But suddenly something happened, and now we are just like scraping through every game, doing what we can. We are playing pragmatic football. But yeah, I agree. I haven't seen Ten Hag style. I was hoping it would be better with Onana, because I thought that De Gea was hampering us. But we still struggle with the same problems.
So I'm seeing mainly Nuruddin in the chat that we're not exaggerating. People are saying no. A couple of people said yes. Most people are saying we're not over exaggerating. That's what I'm seeing.
I don't think we're over exaggerating. It's very it's underwhelming. It's underwhelming, and you are just calling it out. But we're not saying sack anybody. We're thinking so far this is quite alarming. It has to improve. I don't think Erik ten Hag would disagree with that, to be honest.
Yeah, but how do we go from here? What can Ten Hag do with this current squad? Maybe
This
we
is
get
the thing,
Amrabat in.
Let me ask Nuruddin a question. Do we need a couple more players? Do we have to get a couple more players now before the transfer window finishes?
I think Manchester United need a striker, another striker.
Yeah.
Because those games, Manchester United midfield players.
You're not getting another striker.
Manchester United need one that can carry the ball and another player who's got physicality and energy for days, and who can literally suck the life out of the other teams, win the ball back, and give it to our better players.
Do you know?
Also, the front three cannot be guaranteed. Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, none of them can be guaranteed starting lineup. That's what Manchester United. We need to have a healthy competition. If you put in a little bit below your top performance, you sub straight away. Get the fuck off the football.
Do you know when I'm thinking about?
Nuruddin, you know that's not going to work with Rashford and people like that. How much is Rashford on the? How much is he on the year now?
375.
But Irfan, it has to work, bro. Erik ten Hag, this is what we.
He's a prima donna in that sense.
When he came in,
he's not going to take it.
Bro, when Erik ten Hag came in, what a lot of us said here is, I mean, I don't know him, but we don't want a yes man here. I think one thing I'd say about Mason Mount is, I didn't watch the Wolves game. I watched the highlights, and it was pretty horrendous. But I remember you, Dino. You said he actually worked hard. That was your assessment of him.
But that's the only bit of positive that I can work on. That.
Yeah, I'm just let me land.
And that's the minimum. For me, I said it. Listen, I said it when we bought him. We were on the show.
Let me land. Let me land. So you know where I'm going.
Let me just make this point quickly. I said I understand the reason why he bought him, but we needed players who are better on the ball than Mason Mount, or more combative and powerhouses with energy that are going to win the ball back and carry the ball. That's what we needed. But go ahead, carry on.
I think so. Taking that on board, and then today, he only makes 14 passes, and he's played both of those games. Now, I don't know what people see when they look at Mason Mount. I see an all-round player, not a world-class player, but he's good. He's got a bit of everything about him. And I was one of the people that really wanted him. He can really carry the ball forward. He can break lines. But Mason Mount's contribution against Wolves was that he worked hard, and today he barely sees the ball. Tells me that we're not keeping the ball. We're chasing the game a lot. Chasing the game a lot, guys. And when you're doing that, bro, it's very difficult. We're getting caught in transition a lot. They're walking through the midfield a lot. If you want to play with Casemiro, with Bruno Mount, it's on the basis that we press very well from the front as a team. We're not doing that. They're just walking past us. We're resorting in both games now to desperation. A plan seems to go out the window, and I'm just seeing a lot of long balls. Onana today was hitting them. Fullbacks were hitting them. Centre backs were hitting them. Bruno was hitting them. They were going to nowhere. And I think teams just get bold when they see there's nothing much here to be scared of. They're looking for one break. We didn't get it, and they just kept coming on and coming on. And Angie today, I thought he was brilliant. He was bold. He was brave. He smelt some blood and he went for it. He got what he wanted. He made some good substitutions. Richarlison off, brought on Davis and Perisic. Get some work rate in there. They look done. Do you know what I mean? We will make chances. We'll camp them in. They're not going out anyway. They're just hitting long balls. This is a problem. It's a big problem. Since after, like Jarvis was saying, it's like we changed into another team. We thought, forget all the work we were doing. We need results now only. We just have to get Champions League. I get it, but you have to have good ball retention, man. And we're not. And the midfield is being bypassed anyway. A lot of times, we're just going long to the front three, and it's shite. So I'm looking at the midfielders, and yeah, it can be frustrating playing in this Man United team. For me, as a midfielder, that's what I like to play as an 8. I wouldn't like to play in this team. Not seeing a lot of the ball to feet. Sometimes, as soon as we go a goal down, especially, it's panic mode. We weren't panicking before. Yeah, we go a goal down, but we felt we'd get back into this game. Second half, we were a really good team. And I just feel the guys need to, Eric Ten Hag, remember what served us well. Let's go back to that, man. Let's continue to build on that. You've got good players there. And I just hope, they don't think we're all over and we're going to kill them. No, man, just keep working. Get back to that. We're good. We're all right. And I think you're going to have to understand there's no more strikers coming in this season. It's going to be Martial and Højlund and Rashford will fill in. There's going to be no strikers. I think you might get Amrabat, but that'll be it. You're not getting another striker. There's no more dough for that. That's my take on it, man. I think we're just not holding that ball well, and we're getting desperate too early in the game.
We have a couple of super chats, Nurdin.
Apparently, I'm not letting you guys speak when I'm just trying to make an interesting point. Some of the people are a bit touchy in the comments.
Where's that, Nurdin? Where's that? It's your bloody channel. You can do what you want, for God's sake.
No, it's not that, because you know what I like to come and clarify points to carry on the debate, but people just don't want that. Sorry to say,
I can't see that, Nurdin.
When the going gets tough, Bruno Fernandes plays so shite. We need multiple captains.
When the going gets tough,
then he's come off. But we don't.
Nurdin. Let's be honest. Let's not sugarcoat this. He was really poor today. Really poor. He didn't look like a captain to me, Nurdin.
Listen, Listen, other than half an hour, other than Unana and maybe Wan-Bissaka and Varane, everybody else was right. And even Wan-Bissaka gave a silly foul to get the yellow card. A silly thing to get the yellow card.
Yeah, he did. But still, Nurdin, he doesn't look like, he's not playing like the leader. He's not playing like a captain. He's not galvanizing the team. He's just giving the ball away. And he's like, look, I don't mind him when he gives the ball away. I mean, you're always saying he's trying things, but I don't do that because he gives it away too frequently. They don't come off anywhere near enough. The passes he tries to make, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't keep doing that. You've got to play the simple pass. You can't keep trying these wonder balls. I'm over the top, because you look stupid, and you're making it worse for yourself because nothing's coming off. So he needs to look at himself and say, what am I doing? What am I doing? It's not working. So, this is why I was very upset with him watching him today. I was like, man, you're a joke today. You were really bad today. He was really bad, But like you said, you're always saying in the first goal, so important. First goal, we have to get out of this. We have to be a team that even if we go behind away, we can still turn around and win. We have to be that type of team, and we're not there yet.
But Irfan, the reason why I say that is because I don't trust the team. I don't trust the football team. So that's why I say first goal is vital. But to me, the away record is worrying. For me, for 45 minutes plus, Spurs bopped us around that football pitch, and they've had a new manager for 2 months.
He's a good manager, I don't know much about him. He's all right.
Look, you say that, right? But look, Postecoglou is not under the pressure that Ten Hag is. No manager in world football, apart from probably Real Madrid and Barcelona, is under the pressure that Man United manager is. It's a different ball game. Let's speak the truth here, okay? No one is. You know, it's only Real Madrid, Barcelona under that kind of intense pressure. So look, this is the problem. This is why we need things to go away. This is why we need a bit of stability in the club. And we're miles off. You know,
Yeah.
we're such a far way off. You know.
Listen, big
Word.
up John A. Thank you so much for the super chat, bro. He says Nuruddin gave us all a warning last season.
Yeah.
He has a good track record with his predictions. He predicted our players will be tired this season. You know what? I
didn't ask you that, Nuruddin. I didn't ask you that. Hang on, I didn't ask you that, Nuruddin. So one thing we didn't really touch on in discussion is this like the Liverpool last season fatigue already showing? Is that what it is? Is that what you think? I mean, Jarvis as well. Do you think this is showing or not? You think we're showing that we're wasted from last year?
That may be a part of the problem, you know, but Ten Hag's job is to see this and change the players. Then if they're tired, they need rest. You can't play them and expect the same result if they're tired. So that's, even then, it's Ten Hag's problem, you know. And if you don't have the players, well, you have to sign new players in that positions that you know, Bruno needs a rest, Rashford needs a rest, because they played almost 6. Bruno was the player who played most minutes last season. He played over 6,000 minutes of football.
Crazy,
last
played
season.
crazy number.
That's insane. So in my estimations, I think we bought Mason Mount to give Bruno a rest sometimes. I don't think we bought Mason Mount to play in the 8. I think we will bring Amrabat in, and we have Mainu as Casemiro's backup. That's just my suspicion about this. But of course, players needs rest, and when you play too much, you saw that with Liverpool, with Mane, Salah, Firmino, everybody, they fizzled out. They didn't have any energy left. So and Klopp, he did the same mistake. He played the same players, and they got in problems. They got a lot of injuries, and you know, Van Dijk was injured for a long time, and you know, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, and last season, that's why last season, without Rashford's goals, I don't know where would we finish this last season. I'm not gonna lie to you. Where would we be last season? Listen, genuinely, deep down your heart, is there a part that we're overreacting? Deep down, is there any positives that you saw from today? Any positives?
Well, only Onana. Onana remains positive. I see.
Yeah.
I see. I mean, like that pass he played out. I mean, one of them's going to come off and we're going to score. You know, so that's the only positive at the moment. And like, look, I don't want to overreact, right? Because we're all triggered because we've had the madness of the Glazers. You know, we are the worst run, most poisonous club owners in all of football. I can't think of it as bad as.
Listen, let me stay with you there. The ownership, the Mason Greenwood stuff.
Yeah.
What else is going on? So that's the two things that are going on. The ownership, the Mason Greenwood. Do you think that's and then now the news that's come out about Anthony, about his wife filing a 7-page report about the abuse he suffered. Do you think, because they're only human, these people are not robots? How much do you think that's having an effect on the manager and the players?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm thinking today, right? Because even if you just analyze, even if, say, I was trying to be not Man United supporter, just looking at the game, I'm saying to myself, he changed it too late. He should have changed it at half time or 55 minutes. You know, he changed it too late. So that tells me that you're not on the ball. You're not. Your brain is not operating the way it should do, because you're doing things when the shift has left the port. You know, it's too late. You know, the best managers make the right decisions at the right time when they're in trouble. He's not doing that. So I said to you before when you were asking me, I said, maybe the behind the scenes madness drama is actually getting to. Maybe it is. You know, Mason Greenwood and obviously like trying to buy players and getting his 4th or 5th choice, can't buy the play he wants. He's probably, you know, he's probably going nuts to a degree. Now, that is one possible reason, but still, I'm still not going to give him the entirety of that explanation, because I'm saying to myself, oh, even a fool could see that this midfield with Bruno and Mount is not working. You because it was the second time where these guys, Bissouma bossed us today, and Assar, they bossed us today. And football, if you don't have any control in the midfield, you've got no chance of winning. So I'm sorry to say, even if all these other things behind the scenes are going on, surely you could see something's wrong. And I said it yesterday, he should have played McTominay next to Casemiro just to keep it steady and see what happens after that. That's what he should have done. I don't understand why he didn't.
I don't think I think he was sending a message today to say he doesn't fancy it, and Gary Neville picked up on that. But people will say to you, Fan, that for half an hour it worked. Mason Mount, Casemiro, and Bruno worked for half an hour. But unfortunately, half an hour is not whole of football. Let me just get the super chat. Let me just get the next 2 super chats first. John A says, no one can save these players until they decide to do it themselves. I look at this team and I see I see pride, centeredness, tiredness. No,
I think he wants to say, I see no pride. Not he's got
no pride.
Yeah,
no pride. Yeah. And then big up to Antigua Finest. Big up. It says, I see the fans that are ready to go ham and protest if Greenwood comes back. Where is the energy against the owners who are pressers? Oh, we protest against them daily. I don't think maybe you're in Manchester or you're in the UK, bro, but we do it all the time. Not Greenwood supporters, but pointing out the hypocrisy, misguided rates. No, it's not. It's not misguided because everybody. I don't know any United fans who want the Glazers to stay. I think the Glazers. Everybody wants the Glazers out, but some people don't want to do it. Go ahead, Jarvis. You want to put in?
Yeah, I just want to say on this point, the only positive with today's game is the loss that it's fueling the protest that's coming in the Newcastle game. So no, the Nottingham Forest game. So I hope people will protest the shit out of the Glazers because it's gone too far. They have ruined the rest of this transfer window. Now we're struggling on the pitch. We are a flying circus all around the world. The players not ready. And we have the Greenwood and the Maguires and everything is just like a mess, like a big soup of headlines all over the place. Let's be a football team. I just want us to play good football. How hard can it be?
It's not.
You're on mute.
It's not difficult, Irfan. I watched his press conference, and actually, the manager looked physically and mentally fatigued. He didn't look like himself. They kept asking him about Greenwood. They asked him about the sale. They asked him about Maguire. Those 3 things is not his decisions. He's already made a decision on Maguire. We don't know what his decision on Greenwood is, but we know that he's not in control of the sale. He said it. He said that when the sale thing got announced, he said that's good news because if it brings more investment, and in modern football, you need a lot of investment. He said that. So he agrees with the sale. So we know where he stands on 2, but they keep asking him because not the director of football, not the CEO, nobody will come out, but he has to go out week in, week out in front of the press. And like Jarvis says, they ask him some silly questions, no proper questions, and they're just there to make up the numbers. And actually, it's just laughable what you see. But listen, I want to big up everybody, literally everybody for tuning in. Big up to all of you. You're not going to see me cry. I'm never going to cry because I don't have a massive expectations. But the only expectation that I wanted, I'm not going to panic because last season we started off badly, like Jarvis said. And Jarvis, the question is, why do we keep starting badly? Why do we have to start badly? And we know the next couple of games, we've got Forest, we've got Arsenal, and then I think it's the international break. Then I think after the international break, we got Brighton. I think then we got Brighton after the international break. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me. But at the end of the day, I look at this football team, I look at this football club. The football club does not operate like a football club. The football club, I always tell you, it is, the fish always rots from the head. And the biggest thing about what's going on in a football club is when you look on that football pitch, because there is nothing that hides what's going on there. You can't hide it. Whatever defect, whatever's going on in the back room, whatever, it will all show itself up to what it is out there. And at the end of the day, Manchester United today, embarrassingly, I saw Spurs team with players, a couple of players they bought in, and players who were part of the large squad under Conte, who were never seen any football at all, bob Manchester United off the park for about 45 minutes. In over 100 minutes. For 45-something minutes, 50 minutes, they bobbed us around that football pitch. And I am never taking that as a United player. I don't mind losing, but getting bobbed. And what I mean by bobbed is I want to take you guys back to the 1920s. It's a form of dancing jazz and blues where two people literally dancing and one of them is bobbing the other one off all the dance floor. That's what the first they bobbed us off the dance floor like it was a fucking dance. We are getting danced like it's the 1920s. fucking early 19th century. We're getting bopped around the fucking football pitch. And I'm sick of my team, watching my team that happened to them again and again and again, and the same shit continuing and again and again. Eric Ten Hag looks really, really ruffled. Tonight, he's coming out with very contradicting what he said at the beginning of the season, and I played you the audio. He is succumbing to the will of the players that he has. He has to now gain some more control and play his style, because either way, playing like this, you're going to get sacked anyway. So you might as well go out in your own way. You know that famous song? I'll do it my way. Do it your way, Eric.
Sinatra.
Let's see that good football. I'm one of those fans that wants to see good football, because I know we're not going to be anywhere near Champions League finals and Champions League wins and a Premier League title wins. We're not going to be this ownership. Go ahead, Mumbai. Last word.
I think Mumbai is in the bath. I think he's in the bath, the way he's been laughing and joking. I can see ducks, and he's got the toothbrush in there, brushing his teeth while the ducks are in the bath. That's what you've got. That's what I've been hearing the last 15 minutes.
Manchester United will drive you to a hot bath, mate.
Oh, dear.
It's cold yet. It's not even that cold yet in the UK. Go ahead, Mumbai. Last words.
Last words is we have good players. We have we have a striker to come in, which I'm really excited about. We've got a really good goalkeeper. Everybody, including the manager and the players, knows it's really bad. But we need to give it some time. We need to give it some time and just relax. It's just 2 games. We've got 3 points on the board, but the performances have been shite. If we're still here, this happening in 3-4 weeks, then okay, maybe the heat will start to turn up. But we've analysed it. Let's just move forward and hope things start to go our way with the transfers, with this bullshit that he keeps getting asked about. Make a decision on Greenwood. He's coming, he's going. Maguire, let's get that. Let's get him, give him some breathing room to concentrate on the team. Yeah. This stuff is clogging press conferences. We don't need it. We had it with Ronaldo. You remember that saga? So hopefully deal with that. All it'll take is one nice performance, another win. Hopefully, we start to turn the corner, and hopefully, I hope we get one more midfielder, and I hope it is Amrabat. I really do, because everybody seems to like him. And that's it. I don't think we've overreacted. I think it's fair what we're saying. I don't think we've said anything that they don't feel. But that's all there is to it now. This chapter is closed. The game is done. We have to look forward to the next one.
Yeah, that's the beauty of football, isn't it? We move on to the next game.
Yeah, you've got to.
Your last words, bro. Last word. You winced when I mentioned Brighton. That is the biggest thing I need to know. It wasn't what you said, it was your body language. And as a Manchester United fan in 2023, you're wincing at the thought of us getting bobbed around the pitch by Brighton. That tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah, because I know what's coming. I have been studying the Serbia ball. And the thing is, he sells his best players, Caicedo, McAllister, everybody's out the door, and they still like bombing on at the same tempo and same level. De Serbi, he has really impressed me, the way he plays football. He have invented football in a new way. Even Pep haven't played the way De Serbi do. So I'm really impressed by that manager and that team. He plays a system. So when we are up against Brighton, I'm really afraid that we will lose that game. I'm not trying to be pessimistic.
Can I just say, Jarvis? I know you love De Zerbi. A lot of people do, but doing it for Brighton, okay, it's good. But doing it for United is a whole different thing. You know that. I know it looks good. I know it's great play, but the pressure is not even 1% the pressure of what Man United have to deal with. So
yeah, it's like the song, the H is so, the heat is on. When you play for United, it's hot potatoes.
Whole
so
different ball. I would love to see what this guy could. I don't think he could fix United, to tell you the truth. I don't think he could.
No, I'm not into changing managers, but we have to be able to ask critical questions, and I hope that the fan base will ask critical questions. We're not like the hallelujah echo chamber. We don't want like everybody
we're
to
not
say
Jarvis,
positive
but
things
we've all
about.
agreed that we're not truthfully in our hearts. We're not going to see any change in this football club until these bastards go. We're really not.
Yeah,
On the pitch, that's whatever we talk about, whatever we analyze to death, it comes back to that same point again and again, that nothing's going to change until these scumbags leave the club. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. We're going in circles, and every time it ends on the Glazers.
Yeah, it does.
And I think
that's how it should end.
Yeah, and George, be hit it on the nail. We don't need to separate. We need Brighton's football structure, and it's about football structure, people.
About football structure, which is the Glazers, it's the Glazers. Yeah,
it's about the vision.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. I think. Listen, if you look at Manchester United's history, I'll finish on this one. I think have everybody had their say. Irfan, have you had your last word?
Yeah.
Listen to the last word. If you look at the history of Manchester United, right? In the history of Manchester United, nearly 200 years old or whatever it is, it's, over 100 years old, Manchester United. There's only been 3 managers who won the league titles in Manchester United. Manchester United are the type of football club, I think it is the way it is. We need owners to give all of the power and patience to a manager and back this manager to the hill. He buys a player, it doesn't work out, get rid of that player, get him another one. It's that type of thing that what we need. That's the type of thing we need. Ferguson came in 86. He changed the whole team. Got rid of so many players. Jarvis, Irfan were around then. And guess what? Manchester United still finished 12th or 13th one season. We finished way outside the top 10, And then slowly but surely, he kept adding to it. Then 4 years later, they win the FA Cup. Then that famous 91 win Cup Winners' Cup. Then we went on we took off. So Manchester United needs to have a domineering character to take full control, because that's in our history. Only 3 managers have won the league.
Can you name all 3?
Say that again.
Can you name all 3?
So that must be Fergie, and the first one is I forgot.
Wilf McGuinness. Who is it?
No, it's not Wilf McGuinness. It's somebody else. That's not. It was the first manager that won the league. It's the one before Fergie, one before Sir Matt Busby, and the one before Sir Matt Busby. Sir Matt Busby, Fergie, and the guy before. I think it was during wartime.
Who is it, Jarvis?
No, I don't know. I'm just asking the question because I'm curious. But I will Google it right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot his name. I know the guy's name, but I forgot it.
Maybe someone in the chat knows.
Yeah.
Was it Moisey? Yo, listen, do you know the day I was in bed, and I woke up late and the news had broken that it was David Moyes.
Ernest Magnol.
Ernest
Magnol.
Wow, I had no idea.
Ernest Magnol.
I don't think I've ever even read that one.
Yeah,
wow.
3 managers in our history of Manchester United: Bernard Manon, Sir Matt Busby, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Say the name again. Ernest
Magnol.
Magnol. Wow. Either Irish or Scottish.
Right. Wow. I don't think I've ever read.
Are you sure? He sounds like Magnol. That's Jarvis area, man. Magnol, Magnuson.
Could be Manuel. Could be Manuel. Magnol. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well.
Unless Google is lying to me. It's in the chat.
It isn't. It's Ernest. Yeah. He won the league. Manchester United. His first manager to win the league with Manchester.
What year was that?
It's 1930s or the 1920s, whatever it was. That's his name.
Yeah.
Magnol.
League title, 1911.
1911, there we go.
Do you know what, man? I just can't wait to see this Hoyland. I'm so excited for it. I know people are ripping him. He's only scored this many goals, that many goals.
It's not about that, but I'm sorry, but you're not throwing 20-year-old kid under the bus to bail out a football club. He's not Harry Potter. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, I don't want to. I don't want him to
This
bail
football
anything
team
out.
has got
I think,
proper
yeah, proper. At the moment, it's not looking good. But you know, we've paid 72 million for a 6'2" young
Irfan's
man
got
that
a
can
photo.
move.
Wow, big up to him.
That's Ernest.
That's Charlie Chaplin, that ain't Ernest
Yep.
Magnell.
But that's Ernest. That's Ernest.
Ah.
It is 1900s, remember? Okay. He came from Burnley to Man United between 1903 and 1903 to 1912.
Do you know what? That's a sign.
Mad,
We
innit?
need
Look at
Sean
that.
Dyche.
That's
We're
mad,
playing
innit?
long ball football anyway.
at
Let's
that.
just get him in.
Well, at least we give the people in the chat a history lesson, yeah.
Listen, big up Antigua's finest. Antigua, I can't wait. I want to visit Antigua. I see Antigua on Google
Yeah,
Maps.
beautiful part of the world. Beautiful.
What
The
an
West
island.
Indies, yeah.
What a beautiful island. I really need to go. We need to take a trip there. You need to get a DJ gig.
We won't come back. The problem is we go there, won't come back.
Listen, we need to know the crowd that are into broken beat and Afro house. We need to
No, listen, they'll get anything in there. They know the music. They'll understand the music straight away. Don't worry about that. It's their music, remember. We're just giving them back.
Listen, big up to Antigua's finest for the super chats. I definitely see what you guys on the front line have been doing to get the Glazers up. But you would probably get 50% of the stadium walk out if Greenwood came back, but not to get the owners out. That's hypocrisy. You might be right, though. Listen, you might be right. But big up for the super chat. We appreciate
nicely
it.
put.
Thank you.
Listen, big up, love and life.
I mean, yeah, but I know it sounds right to one level, but what they do is legalize robbery. What he did was, was something completely different. You can't compare those two situations.
Yeah, it's hard to compare both.
You can't compare both. I'm sorry, you can't.
People are saying Ernest looked like
it's Al Capone. It does look like Al Capone. And it's actually before Al Capone. Isn't Al Capone's? Is the 20s, 30s. He's during the what do you call that period when
before the Russian Revolution?
No, it was when all the booze was prohibition era.
Yeah, prohibition time.
When the booze was like outlawed. Yeah.
Listen, we're gonna finish on a positive tweet. Big up Jardo Malmin. He says, "We will smash Nottingham, then we'll go to Arsenal, shock the league, and then we'll get a draw at Brighton." That's the positive note.
That's optimism.
Yes.
That's the comment.
Norwegian.
Well, Melvin, I'll give it to you. You got positivity. You sounded like Bumbaye there. I give you that.
Yeah.
Tell you what, boys, we keep playing like this. I think I'm going to start cracking a beer open. Cheers, Jov.
Cheers.
I'm raising it to you too.
Listen,
I remember I went with Dino to a game under Mourinho's reign, and I was fighting his corner, and Nuruddin took me to watch against was it Villarreal, Dino, or Sevilla?
Yeah.
And there was a guy, he had 3 pints in his hand. He was on his jacks. He wasn't with anyone. I said, bloody hell, mate. He goes, man, I can't watch us if I'm not pissed anymore.
Wow. There you go. Wow.
Strap for them people.
Strap for them, man.
That's incredible. That is a real football story. That real football story.
Honestly, I never forget that. The guy said, "Well, I have to get drunk to watch Manchester United." He goes, "I'm here. I love the football club. I have to get drunk to watch us."
Honestly, it's quite a profound thing to say, that, Nuruddin. It's quite a profound story. That really,
and it was the truth.
I mean, these performances are pretty profound. Do you know what I mean? But Bruno's header today, though, geez, man, that killed it.
Yeah,
it was onside.
Yeah, but he doesn't. The thing is, I know it came to him, and he didn't realize it was onside. But he's not the kind of guy that scores headers anyway. We were really hoping, and praying that he would. But he's not the guy that was going to score the header anyway. He's just not.
No.
I mean, look at the headers that thing he had. Varane, well, actually, Varane's offside, but Casemiro had a couple, but not in the corners.
Their keeper had a good game. I'll give him that.
Yeah, but our shots were not testing enough. Our shots were not
close to him. There was not one shot that was.
Everything was almost like made him look better than it was, because they weren't accurate. The shots and the headers, they weren't.
Listen, I want to thank everybody that's tuned in. Big up to you. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. This is what you see the channel is, honestly. You're not going to get a level of honesty. Everybody's authentic in their opinion. We're not just trying to agree with each other. Everybody sees it differently, but we all know this is getting tiring. It looks like Manchester United are cursed. Honestly, it looks like
No, they are
Manchester United
cursed.
are cursed.
Absolutely.
I don't want to believe that. I believe the curse is the Glazers. And once we get rid of that,
the curse will remain until then. The curse is not going to go away until they're gone.
Listen, things will improve. Nottingham Forest fan. Listen, long-haired Yeti's Cave. Do you want to come on the channel? Follow me on Twitter. I wanna do the preview for Nottingham Forest, and we'll have you on the channel. Long-haired Yeti Cave. Come on the channel and talk about Nottingham Forest. If you don't want to do it, get another Forest fan to come on here to do the preview with us. Every other football fan is welcome on here to come and talk about their team. So big up to you. Follow us, that guy Red Devil. Tag me in a tweet, or make sure you're ready next time when we're doing the Forest Manchester United preview, so you can come on and give us your 2 pence of Forest. Your striker scoring, that's more than what we got. I'll take that Forest striker as we speak right now. 2 in 2, mate. 2 goals in 2 games. I'll take that. I'll take that. But big love and light, people. Big love and light. We'll see you on Monday. But I need a rest tomorrow. I want to watch the World Cup final. May the best team win. That's all I've got to say. And I hope it's a better football. Like, you know what? Sometimes when United are that bad, I can't even watch other football. I'm still devastated and hurt. Yeah. I'm going to go watch a film now. I'm going to watch...
One last question. And what's your prediction for the women's tomorrow?
If England... 2 things. If England follow the game plan of Japan and are clinical, they can beat Spain. Spanish team are a very young team, and at this level, they're not that experienced. But they're a very good team. Their team, Barcelona, dominates the European Champions League. They've got very good young players. They keep the ball. They're technically astute. This is
almost tiki-taka, isn't
it? Listen, it's the first time in a World Cup they won a game in a knockout, but they're in the final now. So if England have to play the tactic. England either have to go on press and let the occasion get into the heads of the Spanish team. England need to go on full press, take the game to them and get the goals, and then sit back and counter. Or England let them have the ball but counter and be clinical. They're the 2 tactics. The first one, the second one is a bit dangerous.
Going to be an interesting game tomorrow.
Tooney, my girl Toon. If England want to win, they need to play my girl Toon. They need to play her.
England played really well in that semi-final. I was actually impressed. The goals they scored, the way they played, I was like, wow, it's a very, very good team. Yeah. So let's see.
Listen, we'll see where it goes tomorrow. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Viva, good night. Listen, he needs to run the hot tap again, because that bath is getting cold. It's getting cold. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Take care. Go and check out the Straight Jacket podcast and check out Sa'i TV as well. We just did that before this. We did it at 10 o'clock. So go and check that out. It got heated, but it is what it is. We're emotional. We're fans. That's what we are. If we're not reactionary, I don't know what we are. I'm not Erik ten Hag out. I think Erik ten Hag looks drained. And that goes to the top of the football club. He looks drained. He looks peed off and he looks drained. And that's why he's talking like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because they do it to you. This football club does it to you. It damages good managers and it damages good players. But let's hope we smash Forest, we shock the league, and then we get a draw at Brighton. I'll take that. I'll bite your hand off for that. Love and light, people. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. Peace. Love, light. Jarvis, let them know.
You let them know, Jarvis. You got the sign.
Yeah. Nice.
That's it. We all need one of those, Jarvis. We all need one.
Protesting from my studio.
That's the way.
There you go.
Cool.
Guys, have a fantastic night, everyone. Do not eat deep dish pizza after 12 o'clock. You'll get so stuck, it will be impossible to sleep.
We've all done that, man. We've all done that. Jarla, we've all done that.
I don't touch deep dish pizza. Only thin crust for me. I don't touch anything like that.
Big up to you, Jara Mellin. Good night, people. Listen, I'll be sorry. Make sure you follow Jarvis Cocker at Bowley77. Bumbaye got a 100-year contract to this channel. So media. Make sure you follow Irfan on Instagram, Irfan Rainey, politics on Instagram as well now. Politics on
politics on Instagram fully now. I thought I'd keep politics away, but I can't help it. I can't help
big up to Mick Ruby. Listen, I can only imagine how Mick Ruby is tonight. I bet he's
actually
got
one last question. Can I ask Jarvis, how did Mick handle this, Jarvis?
Oh, he was pissed.
Game? Was
we
he
were
pissed?
all pissed. Yeah.
Mick said 3-1 to us yesterday in the preview. He said 3-1. I was like, Mick,
you're trying to be optimistic, you know, but the reality takes us all, especially when it comes to the Glazers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Listen, it is what it is. Big up Windy says,
big shout out to everyone in the chat. Big shout out to everyone who's been listening for the last couple of hours. The show done.
We had a record. We had
big love to all of you lot.
800 people watching. So big up to all those 800 people.
800 people.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
how come there's so many today, Nuri? What's going on?
I think people are turning up because this channel is like most of the channels, like Saeed. We tell the truth about what's going on at football club. And I think a lot of people tune in. I do think some other fans are tuning in to see us have a meltdown, but we don't have a meltdown.
Of course.
We tell it as it is. We're very passionate. Yeah. And people think that's the meltdown because we're very passionate.
Do you know what? I have to be honest, Dino. I actually thought I want to come on today to see you lose your shit. I'm pretty disappointed.
No, because you know what? I know this shit. Listen, I don't lose my shit.
It's a bit mean, that. It's a bit mean.
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. It's only so much I can lose my shit. 10 years of losing my shit. I left my hair. I've lost my shit that much. I've lost my hair. Honestly. But big up to everybody that was here. It's still 427 people watching still.
Yeah, big every single person that tuned in up, man. That's an impressive number. Thank you.
We've been live for 2 hours, people. Content this late on a Saturday night. We could all be in a disco by this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We could be all in a disco by getting in there, chatting up some attractive people in the disco tonight, but we're not. Instead, we're chatting about Man United.
Never gonna give.
And they think we're crazy. They must think we're crazy wasting our time chatting about Man United. They must think we've lost our heads.
but that's the love that we had for this. This is the love that we have. Love that we have. And you know what? Aries, the Nottingham Forest fan, he says, "Been awesome. Big up to you, man."
Big up
to you.
You know, who doesn't love Forest though? Come on, everyone's got a soft spot for Forest, especially from the Brian Clough days.
Cloughie, man, what a guy.
Yeah, and losing the great Trevor Francis recently as well, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously we remember Viv Anderson because we got Viv Anderson after you guys had him, so you know.
We got
there's links, man. Gary Birtles as well. We had Gary Birtles from Forest as well. You know, we've had a connection with these guys. Roy Keane as well. We got Roy Keane from Forest. There you go.
Yeah, I don't claim Roy Keane anymore since he decided to make money with the Glazers and build his brand. I'm not having that. Sheikh Arian Rashid, just remember that your GCSE results are out in 3 to 4 days now, right? Just roll that. Exams do not define your humanity or who you are as a person. Remember that. There are a lot of people who got bad results and went to do amazing things in their lives. So don't be defined by them. But good luck.
God willing, you'll be all right.
Listen, like Bumbaye says, our soundtrack is we're living on a prayer till the Glazers go.
Are we all doing it? Are we going out on that, boys?
We're living on a prayer. Whoa.
Living on
we're halfway there. Whoa,
we're not even halfway there, Irfan. We're at the beginning. We're at the beginning.
I think we might have actually reached the brick wall. By the way, never mind halfway there. We're just waiting to run off that cliff.
Listen, Keno's not magic to me anymore, mate. He did a deal with the Glazers, not for me. Take care. Good night. Love and light, people. Take care. Regardless, we're all destined for a greater path. There you go. There we go. That's the message. Message is love, peace, love, and light. Take care. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.